Okay, good day class. So for today, I will be discussing to you the first topic for midterms, which is a glance at selected Philippine political caricature of the American era. So I decided to uh, start from the midterm topics. So we will no longer discuss the topics that were under your prelims kasi kukulangin tayo ng oras. Okay. So, before we move forward to our discussion, let us define first what is political caricature. So, a political caricature or cartoon is a modern art that turned away from classical art by exaggerating human features and prodding fun at its objects. So, dito sa caricature, yung mga illustration is uh, medyo ginagawa nilang katatawanan yung mukha ng isang tao. Ine-exaggerate nila, ginagawang OA masyado yung illustration ng isang tao. So it is also known as editorial cartoon that contain a commentary that express the artist's opinion toward certain issues. So this art became part of the print media as a form of political and social commentary that usually pinpoint the person's power and authority. It is a unique way to present ideas and capture the audience or reader's imagination. So, sabi dito, yung political caricature daw, they are also called as editorial cartoon. Bakit editorial cartoon? Because they are used in or they can be found in newspapers and magazine, and the purpose is to comment on current events. So kung nakabasa na kayo ng mga newspaper, 'di ba? Uh, Isang bahagi ng newspaper is yung editorial part, kung saan maraming author magsusulat ng kanilang mga commentary on a certain issue, and isa na din dito yung may political caricature. So, in political caricature or in editorial cartoon, the artist shares their opinion about a specific issue through humor or sarcasm. Kasi we all know that Filipinos are fond of sarcasm. So, may hilig yung mga Pinoy sa mga comedy, sa katatawanan. So, naisip ng mga gumagawa ng caricature na bakit hindi natin i-convey yung message natin through um, illustration. So, yun, naisip nila na gumawa ng mga illustration, ginawa nilang medyo nakakatawa yung mga mukha ng tao pertaining to a certain person. So, yun. Kasi sa idea nila, since mahilig yung Pinoy sa comedy, madali nila makukuha yung attention ng reader. And aside from that, mas madaling maiintindihan ng mga mambabasa kung anong kino-convey na message doon sa picture or sa caricature na ginawa ng isang artist. So, it was proven na ang caricature is an effective way to convey ideas. So, here are some latest examples of political caricature. So, dito, sa picture na to, si Duterte, sinasabihan na adik ka si PBBM. Kasi we all know that Duterte is against drugs. And yun nga, kaya nga may war on drugs siya. Tapos ito naman si BBM, nagka-issue siya na yun nga, user siya ng pinagbabawal na gamot. Kaya sinasabi siya ni Duterte na addict siya or addict ka. Ito naman, it is a very good message. Itong lalaking ito na nakabarong, siya si Juan de la Cruz, representing the Filipinos. So, parang si Juan de la Cruz, sinasabi niya si BBM na mag-perform ng kanyang mga duties and responsibilities as a president. In Alfred McCoy's book, Philippine Cartoons, Political Caricature of the American Era, which is from 1900s to 1941, and with the help of Alfredo Roses, they compiled some political cartoons that is published in newspapers and periodical in the aforementioned time period. So, si Alfred McCoy daw and si Alfredo Roses, gumawa sila ng libro. Yung libro daw na iyon, which is yung Philippine Cartoons, nag-compile sila ng mga caricature na naipublished during the American colonization or during the American era. So, maya-mayang konti, I will be showing you some of the prominent examples of political caricature na feature doon sa libro ni Roses and ni McCoy. So, this is Alfred McCoy. His real name is Alfred Al William McCoy, and he is an American historian and educator. And he was born on June 8, 1945 at Concord, Massachusetts, United States. And this is Alfred Roses. So he is an artist or writer from the known Roses clan in the Philippine print media. He is also known as the co-author of the political caricature of the American era. And isang manunulat si Alfred Roses. So he is a journalist sa isang newspaper which is the Manila Times. So I will be showing you 5 caricatures that were published in the book of McCoy and Roses. So dito sa first image na to, makikita nyo na itong lalaking ito, siya si Dr. Santos. So he was from Tondo and he is a politician. As you can see, he is passing the crown to a certain person, this one, and ito yung brother-in-law niya na si Dr. Barcelona. And may isang lalaki na pinipigilan si Dr. Santos na ibigay yung corona kay Dr. Barcelona. So, what does this picture conveys? Or ano ba yung message nitong itong unang caricature na to? So, as you can see, di ba, may crown siyang pinapasa. The crown symbolizes the power or a political position. And yun nga, pinapasa niya yung power or isang posisyon sa kanyang brother-in-law. So, ang pinaka-message nito is yung social or political criticism during the American period kung saan naging issue yung corruption and unfair practices in the government. Most especially yung tinatawag na nepotism or political favoritism. So, ano bang meron sa nepotism? Yun nga, yung nepotism, pinapasa niya yung power or political position sa kanyang mga relatives. Pwede sa kanyang anak, sa kanyang asawa, etc. So, a perfect example is ito lang, yung mga Villafuerte. Nakita nyo naman ata sa Facebook na lahat ng anak ni Villafuerte, including El Rey, is running for some positions in the government of Camarines Sur. So, yan yung example ng example ng nepotism. So, pinapaboran palagi yung mga kapamilya. So, kung mapapansin nyo na hindi lang siya prevalent or hindi lang siya medyo nangingibabaw noong panahon ng American period, but up until now, we are experiencing the same problem. So, this is the second image. This was drawn by Fernando Amorsolo, and it aimed as a commentary to the workings of Manila Police at that period or during the American colonization. So, dito sa picture na to, makikita ninyo si police officer, hinahabol niya itong batang lalaki. At itong batang lalaki may hawak siyang chicken na galing sa nakaw. Kasi probably, gutom na tong batang ito, wala nang makain, gusto niya mag-survive, kaya nagnakaw siya ng manok. And ito naman, yung lalaking nakasalakot, pinipigilan niya itong police officer. And parang may tinuturo siya ng malaking building. So, ano naman ang dinidepict nitong picture na ito? So, parang ang sinasabi dito sa picture na to na yung mga police officers, wag silang magfo-focus or wag masyadong pag-focusan yung mga small-time criminals. But, they must see the bigger picture kung saan kailangan dapat nilang mag-focus or hulihin yung mga big-time criminals. So, medyo relatable ito during the presidency of Duterte, yung war on drugs niya. 'Di ba? Halos napapabalita yung mga hinuhuli ng pulis is yung mga small-time drug pushers. Pero hindi masyadong nare-resolbahan talaga yung issue on drug pushing or drug selling kasi yung pinaka main cause, yung pinaka main supplier hindi naman nahuhuli ng mga police officers. So, yan yung perfect example nitong caricature na ito na naipublish during the American period. So, itong sa ikatlong picture, nakikita ninyo dito si Grim Reaper nakasakay sa isang sasakyan na may pangalan na Colorum. So, ano naman kino-convey nitong picture na to? So, pag sinabing Grim Reaper, di ba, it symbolizes death. And, nakasakay siya sa isang colorum na vehicle. When we say colorum vehicle, sila yung mga vehicles na hindi authorized or hindi lisensyado na mag-transport na mga tao from one place to another. Siguro, nung panahon ng mga Amerikano, isa sa prevalent issue noon is yung medyo marami yung mga colorum vehicles. So, yun. Pinapakita or ang message nitong itong picture na to is that it criticize kung paano daw itong mga colorum or illegal vehicles contribute to fatal accidents that are happening in the Philippines. So, it shows yung serious risk to public safety caused by this colorum vehicles or unregistered vehicles. Okay. So, ito naman, this image shows a cinema scenario kung saan yung mukha ng isang police officer is projected on the screen, enforcing strict rules about behavior inside the theater. So, kung makikita ninyo sa background, merong sinasabi dito, no necking or love making allowed in the theater. So, it prohibits the romantic or intimate acts or yung pagiging PDA inside the theater. And makikita naman ninyo dito sa sinehan, may dalawang medyo young adult na parang takot na takot sila or gulat na gulat, and itong dalawang matanda is parang pinagtatawanan itong mga young adults. So, Anong naman yung message nitong picture na ito? So, this cartoon pokes fun at the strict enforcement of morality in the public spaces, most especially sa mga sinehan. So, it also shows how the younger generation react how the younger generation and older generations might react to such rules. Next picture. So, kung makikita ninyo dito, si Uncle Sam was riding a chariot, but instead of a horse, yung nagpa-pull sa kanya is yung mga Filipinos wearing school uniforms. In addition, dito sa illustration na ito, yung ibang mga estudyante dito is carrying some American objects like baseball, boxing gloves, and baseball and boxing gloves. So, itong image na to is based on a real event kung saan si William Howard Taft, papunta siya sa Manila Pier. And he was riding a chariot, and ang naghihila sa kanya is yung mga Liceo de Manila students in 1907. So, kinondena ito ng mga nasyonalista during the American period. So, ano bang mas malalim na message dito sa picture na ito? So, this cartoon critiques the exploitation of Filipinos, especially yung mga youth natin, under the American colonial rule. Because this also emphasizes the imposition of American culture and values on Filipinos. And last one, eto makikita ninyo si Uncle Sam na mamahagi siya ng goto sa dalawang political party. Itong party na to is the Progresista Party, while on the other side is the Nationalista Party. So, it seems like na inuuna ni Uncle Sam yung pagbigay ng goto dito sa mga Progresista Party, and naghihintay itong Nationalista Party. So, ano naman yung kino-convey na message dito? Itong cartoon na to, it portrays how Filipino politicians were vying for patronage and support of US. So, kung makikita ninyo dito, parang nakukuha ng Federalista Party, ng Progresista Party yung suporta ng US. Kaya sila yung unang binibigyan ng goto. So, it critiques how Filipino leaders seeks for some approval and benefits from the colonial rulers. Kasi alam nila na kapag sinuportahan sila ng American government or yung mga nakaposisyon ng mga Amerikano, most likely mananalo sila sa election or magkakaroon sila ng isang position sa government. So, yan yung ibig sabihin nitong picture na ito. So, analysis of the political caricatures during the American period. So, the book of McCoy and Roses show the transition from the Spanish colonial period to the American period. It also demonstrated the different strands of changes and shift in Philippine politics, culture, and society. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, dun daw sa libro ni McCoy and Roses, makikita daw doon kung gaano kaiba yung situation ng Pilipinas during the Spanish colonization and the American colonization. Kasi naipakita daw sa book ni McCoy and Roses yung mga pagbabago. Most especially in terms of culture, society, and politics during the American period. Kasi one example sa politics, kung noong panahon ng mga Espanyol, wala masyadong nakakapagtakbo or hindi binabagyan ng pagkakataon ng mga Espanyol na mamuno yung mga Pilipino sa gobyerno. So kung meron man, dun sa pinakamababang level of position lang ibinibigay sa Pilipino. However, during the American period, nagkaroon na tayo ng sarili nating government, but ang namumuno pa rin is yung mga Amerikano. However, yung mga ibang position sa gobyerno is inopen nila para sa mga Pilipino. So, it was also during the American period that Filipinos were introduced to different manifestation of modernity like healthcare, modern transportation, and media, which ushered a more and open, freer press. So, ibig sabihin nito, may maganda naman daw na naidulot yung American occupation. Kasi maraming na-introduce na mga pagbabago. Like, yung healthcare, may mga na-built ng hospitals, nagkaroon na din ng mga transportation during the American period, and media. So, comparing from the Spanish colonization, yung media noon is masyadong yung freedom of expression noong Spanish period is wala. It's not existing. Kasi, 'di ba, like yung ginawa ni Jose Rizal na nagsulat lang siya ng book about criticizing the Spanish friars or yung mga Spanish na colonizers, yun, pinag-initan siya and pinapatay siya. So, walang freedom of expression, hindi free yung mga, hindi mo freely mailalahad yung opinion mo or yung mga saloobin mo against the Spanish colonizers. While dito, during the American period, hinayaan lang ng mga Amerikano na i-exercise ng mga tao yung kanilang freedom of expression. Kaya nga nagawa ito mga political caricature kasi open naman yung hindi naman yung mga Amerikano kasing stricto or kasing tapang ng mga Spanish colonizer. So, yung epekto daw ng American colonization the effects were experienced differently by Filipinos coming from different classes. So, anong ibig sabihin naman nito? So, the upper class or yung mga prinsipalya experience economic prosperity with the opening of the Philippine economy to the United States. However, yung epekto daw yun, nakaramdam lang ng mga magaganda is yung mga mayayaman. But, medyo hindi daw maganda yung epekto sa mga mahihirap kasi yung mga mahihirap, mas lalong naghihirap. So, yan yung isa sa analysis. So, dito sa ikalawang analysis, sinasabi dito na yung mga caricature na ginawa, most probably daw, kung ano yung na-experience natin during the American ruling or American colonization, most likely yan din daw yung na-experience ng mga Amerikano sa United States. Kasi syempre, we are under one leadership. So, tayo pinamumunuan tayo ng mga Amerikano. And sa US din, of course, ang namumuno is yung mga Amerikano. Kaya most probably, na-experience din ng mga Amerikano kung ano din yung na-experience ng mga Pilipino. And yun nga, another analysis, yung mga Filipino politicians daw, hindi daw nila masyadong naiintindihan yung concept of democracy. Kasi when we say democracy, malaya ka. Malaya kang makakapag-run sa isang government position. Malaya kang makakapagsalita or basta mayroon kang kalayaan. And yun, may boses ka sa gobyerno. However, yung mga politicians noon, they are already engaging in dirty works. Gaya nga nung unang picture kung saan mas pinapaboran ng mga politiko yung kanilang mga kapamilya rather than the hindi nila binabigyan ng pagkakataon yung mga gusto din na tumakbo sa position na ibang tao. So, yun. Secondly, patronage also became influential and powerful, not only between clients and patrons, but also between the newly formed political parties composed of the elite and the US. Okay, discuss na natin yan. Lastly, pinapakita din daw doon sa mga illustration yung condition ng mga may hirap na Pilipino during the American colonization. So, sabi dito, parang wala daw pinagbago. Almost same pa rin yung nangyayari noong American colonization hanggang ngayon. Like yun nga, yung example ko kanina na yung mga police officers nung panahon ni Duterte, mas focus lang sila sa mga small-time criminals. So, hindi nila hinuhuli yung mga big-time criminals. In fact, binibigyan pa nga nila ng VIP treatment. Another example is itong sina Aris Go, Sheila Go, diba? Na instead na maging pantay sila kung ano man yung treatment nila sa mga hinuhuli nilang regular na Filipino, mas pinoprotektahan lalo nila yung mga big time criminal. So, binibigyan nila ng VIP treatment. So, yun. For the next video, I will be discussing the speech of Cory before the US Congress. So, thank you.